new one was written by Dave Petraeus and Jim Mattis. And I think that created a particular set of conditions that was conducive to a clash. But the main point I want to leave you with is that sort of clash is inevitable. Second question, which is related, is, well, why don't civilians and soldiers have the same theory of war? Again, many, many reasons. But the most fundamental is they are very different kinds of people. Most of us in this room could not be elected dog catcher. Me too. That's why I'm not a politician. I'm a professor. That's why most of you will become military officers and not politicians. Being a politician is a very, very different walk of life, and it doesn't appeal to most of us. It attracts people with very different upbringings, outlooks, and life experiences. And yes, there are crossovers. I fully understand that. But the life experiences you get are different. And here's one way in which the life experiences are profoundly different. The higher up you go in the military, the more deference you get, the more aides, the nicer office, the more likely you are to have a G5 to fly you around, the amount of external respect that you will be shown. The higher up you go in politics, the more abuse you're going to take. Every day. Social media, newspaper, the opposition, it just gets nastier and nastier. And it's even worse in parliamentary systems than in a mixed system like ours. You want to see brutal? Go look at Prime Minister's questions in the House of Commons, where the Prime Minister is being subjected to unrelenting criticism and abuse by the opposition, and he or she has to take it and dish it out as good as they, or indeed better, than they receive. Those are very, very different life experiences, very different attitudes, and they create different expectations about how you treat people and how you expect to be treated. Now, by the way, there are counterexamples, and those are important. Bear in mind, in part as a corrective, bit of a corrective to that video, if you go further on in the Iraq War, if you were to look at, say, the relationship between General Petraeus and President Bush, or General Petraeus and Secretary of Defense Gates, very much the same theory of that particular war. Very much the same theory, very much on the same page. And on the whole, remarkable mutual understanding. In a somewhat lesser vein, somebody who we don't usually think of as having a particularly good relationship with the military, President Obama, the basic outlines of the campaign against the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria laid out by General John Allen, who had his share of frictions with the Obama administration, but on the whole, the same theory of the case of how to fight that war. So there are counterexamples. Third question was, well, what about general officers speaking?